Welcome to my channel. This video is for a 4-ribbon wreath bow. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and don't forget to tap the bell for notifications on my uploads and live streams. I'm starting with a 16-inch tail. I'm just going to pinch that ribbon and then move down and measure out my first loop. I'm doing 8 inches for this one. Just form your loop. You want to gather that and hold it in the center and then twist your ribbon and measure out your next loop and form your next loop on the opposite side, and then twist the ribbon, measure out your next loop, and just keep going back and forth, alternating which direction the loops go. I'm only doing 4 loops and 1 long tail and then 1 short tail, so this tail is only going to be 6 inches long. I just want some short tails sticking up at the top of the bow. I'm just going to gather that in the center with a clip. Now this ribbon, I'm doing 7 inches for the loops. I'm still doing the same length for the tails, and I'm doing the same number of loops. This actually is going to be the top ribbon for my bow, so I didn't do it first, I did it second, but you can see I'm layering it on top. Now I'm moving on to a 2.5 inch width ribbon, so I need to go much larger on the loops if I want it to stand out behind those other ribbons. So I went the same length on the tail, but I'm going 10 inches on the loops again. Now I did change this up a little bit. As you can see, I moved that first loop where it's facing me instead of away from me. That way that tail is going to be hanging in a different spot on the bow. All the tails won't be grouped together. You'll see that at the end. But I'm making the same number of loops, 4 loops. And again, you just want to twist that ribbon before you make your next loop and just keep alternating which direction you make your loops. And then 6 inches for that last tail. So even though I'm making the loops bigger, because I want a big dramatic bow, I'm still doing the same number and same length on the tails. Now this one I'm doing 12 inches for the loops. So again, like I said, this is going to be a big bow. I want a big dramatic bow in the center. And then I just want to put that on the top. And just make sure that all your loops and tails are going in the direction you want them to go. You see how all those long tails, 3 of them are over there on that side, but then this one's over on this side. So that way when they're hanging, they won't all be grouped together. Now I'm wrapping it with a cable tie, pulling it tight. I just like the look of the cable ties. I think it secures them really well, and then it really cinches them really well in the center, so you get a better looking bow. And then I wrap it with a chenille stem, of course, so I can hang it on my wreath. So just wrap it around and give it 1 or 2 good twists there so it won't fall off. Now flip it over and start fluffing up your loops. Just put your fingers in the loops and move them around, fluff them up. If you need to kind of adjust and pull on some loops, you can. And see, they were kind of uneven a little bit, so I just pulled on a couple of them to even them out. And you just want to pull them apart and fluff them up, make the bow look nice and big and pretty. And when you finish with that, you need to trim off your tails. And some of these I'm cutting at a slant, and then some of them I will cut at a V-shape or a dovetail, as some people call it. You can also take a lighter and very quickly get close to the edge and run it back and forth. Just be very careful. You can melt the ribbon and burn it really easily, so be very careful. If you want to cut the V-shape or the dovetail, just fold it in half like that and cut it at an angle. But ribbons, as soon as you cut them, they immediately start fraying a little bit, so you just got to be careful and don't mess with them too much. Here it is on the wreath. See how pretty that is? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, share, like, subscribe. Please be kind with your comments. Please be kind to others, and happy crafting, everyone.